Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. Today is August 25th. I'm picking up where I left off. What we're doing is we're working on getting a file menu into the application in anticipation of doing some persistence work. This is a whole new part of the application that I'm really excited about getting into. So far we have the file menu, but there's nothing in it. So that's what's going to happen next, is we've got to get that new menu item in, and we've got to hook it up and have it do something. So I think it's the do something part that is the exciting part. So let's go ahead and pull this out into its own variable. We'll call that the file menu. And the menu has a title. Now we need it to have just one menu item to start with. And let's see if there's an easy way of doing that. Get. You know, I like sort of the natural language way of writing things, like file menu dot item count as opposed to file menu dot get item count. But it sure is nice to be able to scroll down to just the get portion of the tooltip help here and find all the accessors. There's real power in that. So I don't know. Working with Ward Cunningham on the Fit project years ago is what really swung me in the direction of the more natural, concise way. But looking at some of the swing stuff, it's kind of swinging, literally, it's kind of swinging me back in the other direction. The other way is a little bit more elegant, but the swing approach, the Java approach in general with .get and .set, that is in a way more discoverable. So now the case could be made that if you've got 50,000 accessors on your classes like Swing does, that's your real problem. But you know, Swing's not a bad library. It's pretty good. So you know. Anyway, moving on. This is failing because we expected 1 was 0. That's easy to fix. Now we're going to factor this out into a file menu. And we need to add our actual menu item. And it is just as simple as saying new JMenu item. And we can see that pass, I hope. Yep, passes. Wonder when Fred's going to be unzombified. I think I pissed him off. Yep, he still wants to eat my brains. Now, let's see. Boop, 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 boop. We've got the number of menus. I guess what we want to do... No. We want to assert menu item, or new menu. It's going to be called new. That should fail. Expected new was blank. Now we put in new, and that should work. Aha, cool beans. Cool. UI work is fun. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to test, but I love seeing stuff happen on the screen. New! All right. Now, do we want a keyboard shortcut on that? Do we want an Apple new? That's a user experience design question. And I think Apple in is the default behavior. Let's look at my little text editor. Sadly, it's, well, maybe not so sadly. It's not a great text editor, but it's good enough. Yeah, it's been discontinued now. It has a little new menu. So that I think Apple in or on Mac and Control in is kind of the default. The only reason I'm pausing on that is because I don't think it's going to be super common that you'll want to create a whole new projection. But, you know, let's go ahead and put it in. All right, so looking at our spike, how do we do it? We need to have an accelerator. So we need an accelerator. So let's just do that to get Eclipse to not complain. We'll make this into the new menu item. And then we'll want to say new menu item dot get accelerator. Should not be null. Menu item should have accelerator. Yep. And by the way, something I did there, you may not have noticed it before now. I do it a fair amount, which is that I want my tests to really speak to me so that when they fail in the future, I have at an instant, I know what's going on. So if I run it and I see a red bar and then the message just doesn't work for me, I'll tweak it a little bit. Fred hates that because he wants to see a red bar than a green bar. But I'll keep running and getting a red bar until the message makes sense to me and speaks really clearly. This is especially true when I'm writing code to fail fast, although you haven't seen, there hasn't been many cases of that so far in this code. So now we've got the new menu. Now what we need to do is create that, or actually put the accelerator on there. So let's factor this out. And now we've got the new menu item. New menu item dot set accelerator. Could really be anything. Keystroke dot, I don't know how to do this. Keystroke dot gets keystroke. Oh, we'll do it this way. It's wrong, by the way, but that's okay because right now we are just looking for any accelerator. Doesn't matter which one. Good. So that passes. Now we want the specific accelerator Let's see what we have here. It's going to give us a key, so we're going to say, what's the keystroke? Well, no. Okay, so we're going to have to really delve into this. Probably going to be an opportunity to improve this code in the future when we have multiple menu items. New menu. We call it new menu item accelerator for now. Can always rename it later. So the new accelerator key should be in, or really in. And it's actually whatever that is. Well, let's see how this works. We're definitely in uncharted territory here for me. One of the reasons Java is so complex is that they really do a great job of handling a lot of cross-platform issues. So it's complex, but the problem is complex. So it's okay for a design to reflect the complexity of the problem it's solving. If it doesn't, what you end up with is a situation where easy things are easy and hard things are impossible. And in the early days of .NET, you certainly ran into that. I imagine it's better now. So get key char is not right because it's giving us 65535, which is just the maximum value of an 8-bit or a 16-bit integer. So that's not right. If it's not that, what is it? I think I'm going to have to pull up the documentation on this. So let's pull this up. That's the wrong one. Swing. All right. Looking for keystroke. If it overrides the equals method, we can just do that. It inherits that from getAWT keystroke. It looks like it does override it. Let's try just comparing two accelerators. So we'll say keystroke.getKeystroke, which is really a factory method. It should be called createKeystroke or something like that. And we'll put in what we're expecting, which is almost this. But in fact, that. Okay, look at that. Expected meta F was meta W. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So now it's just a simple matter of changing this from a W to an F, and we should see that work. And sorry about the background noise, by the way. I don't know if you can hear the buses going by, but my office is on a busy street and it's hot out, so I've got the fan going and the window open. So how are we doing? File, new. That looks great. And if I press Apple new, well, it doesn't flash like it would in an actual Mac application. If I press Apple in, you actually see it flash, but that is probably because this is Java, not a real Mac app, and that's a little subtlety of the Mac UI that they missed, would be my guess. Either that, or because there's no action associated with it, it's not actually doing anything. Let's see what happens when we do this one. This is the spike. So it's got a menu that has close. If I press Apple W, yeah, it doesn't flash. Okay, so now we've got our keystroke going. That means that what's next is we've got to tie an action to it. So cool, that's what we're going to do next. Thanks everybody for watching. I will see you next time.